Just a little red dot swimming in a sea of stars. Got the whole damn verse spinning around you with open arms. It's a race against time that plunges you deep into the black. What are you gonna do when the void stares back? You'll never stop the revolution. Time to begin your evolution. Take a leap of faith. You gotta break the illusion. You gotta make your own solution. Take a leap of faith. The future's just a void, jump away.
Greetings and welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I'm Jim. I use he, him pronouns. And this is our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw. I am playing Cole Hayden, Human Gunslinger. And as you can see, we have a guest with us today. We are going to go around and introduce everyone, say who they are and who they are playing. And we will, as usual, start with Anino. Hello.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Anino, and I use he, him pronouns. I play Rekmara, the Avira druid, who also uses he, him pronouns.
And on down to Cazimi. Hello.
Hi, I'm Cazimi, she, her pronouns. I'm playing Clangswell Nunu Fritz Holdsbottom Thunderstruck, the space gnome, or probably gnome now. Also, they, them pronouns.
And over to May. Hello.
Hi everybody, my name is May. I'm playing Latinus Chain Tower, a Star Dwarf Paladin. We both use she, her pronouns.
And now down to Mem. Hello.
Hello, I'm Mem. I am Narita Galeen, a Nautilid Witch, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Awesome. And for the first time, we have on our channel a guest, TrooperSJP. Hello.
Hello, hello. I'm TrooperSJP, and I am playing a character that you do not know who that person is, but they use they, them pronouns, and you will learn who that person is at some point as a surprise. It'll be a surprise. That's it.
Yay! Welcome, welcome. Welcome, and I'm so sorry. Just getting that out of the way ahead of time. Well, I shall now go ahead and turn things over to our illustrious station master, Alyssa. Hello.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alyssa. She, her pronouns. I play everybody else. As usual with games on this channel, we will be using the X card, the N card, and the O card for any subject matter that is crossing a line and we don't want to have it in the game. My players can type an X into the chat, make an X symbol. We will stop, rewind. It never happened. If we're towing that line and we're okay having the subject in the game but don't want a graphic description, that's where the N comes into play. We cut to black, put it behind a veil, change the subject and move on. And if you're okay to keep piling on the drama, that's when the O comes into play. I will also occasionally, I might also put an O with a question mark into the chat, just to, in case someone's giving an Oscar-worthy performance and it looks like it might be sort of heading into dark waters. And then everybody can respond as needed if we're good to go, or we can adjust accordingly. And that said, previously on Ghosts of Saltmaw, having commandeered the smuggler's shuttle that was secretly docked on board the space station, the party was able to board the awaiting Space Ghost and take its crew by surprise. Rekamara led the aggressive negotiations. When he took on the Sea Ghost first mate, who answered by delivering the Aviara Druid a searing slash with his laser sword. But Rekamara gave no quarter, sweeping the first mate off his feet and delivering a final blow with a sun staff. Fritz scouted ahead, while Sergeant Lee Watson of the Lachey Garrison provided cover fire, and after an intense combat and plenty of snark, the party was able to take the bridge. Narita then made use of the ship's internal comm system to advise the remaining crew members to surrender or die. Once the party had slain the captain, the first mate, the deck wizard, and the bosun with the hookcraft, the few surviving smugglers opted to surrender. Sergeant Watson took her leave, delivering the prisoners back to Saltmaw for processing. And we pick up when Lasness returns with the shuttle to accompany the party as they investigate the Space Ghost's lower decks. So, you can all go ahead and give yourself whatever benefits you may need for a short rest. I know some of you are a little bit tapped out. And then we pick up with Lasness rejoining the party.
Okay, so Lasness hops down the last step of the shuttle, dusting her hands very briskly and saying, "That's the last of that group of vile, infamous rogues taken care of. What's next?"
I'm gonna actually ask an out of character question. I have no idea how to give myself the benefits of short rest.
So any during a short rest, you have your hit dice if you need to heal yourself and don't have spells. You can roll your hit die and add your Constitution bonus. If you have any abilities that recover after a short rest, which it would say in those special abilities descriptions.
We do our hit die every short rest, is that right?
You can roll as many hit die as you need, or as many as you have. You probably only have 2 at this point, so spend them if you got them. You recover your hit dice after a long rest.
Okay.
Along with all of your hit points.
Yay.
So, for Lasness's benefit, as she missed the description, the Space Ghost basically looks like a regular sailing ship, or maybe more like a submarine, because it's all enclosed and there's no sails, but it's vaguely ship-shaped. And you approach from the top, and the hangar bays open up in the top of the ship, and you kind of hover down into the docking bay. And then once the airlock has repressurized, it opens up onto sort of a little landing with a ramp going down into the main floor. And then there is a lift going down to the cargo area. There are life pods lining either side of the main deck, and another ramp that goes up to the bridge, which is also in an elevated area. And then there are doors underneath each of those elevated landings as well. But I believe the party was kind of hanging out in the bridge.
Well, now that the ship is cleared of its prior owners, I think we should take this time to investigate it before
Quick,
we decide to take it for ourselves.
quick out of character question. How's everybody looking? Health-wise?
We're all healed up, I think.
Not I. Definitely
Yeah.
not now. No.
Yeah, after a short rest, I'm good.
Okay.
Rough.
Okay. Okay, so I can do lay on hands, and with that pool, it is equal to my paladin level times 5. So I can do up to 10 hit points. So I think I'd like to do that on Narita. Narita, did I say that right? Sorry.
Narita. It's fine.
Narita. Okay, I'm gonna get this right, I promise.
You're fine.
I'm gonna do this on Narita as long as she's willing.
Sure.
Okay. All right, then, well, I'm going to clap my hands together and my armor is going to start glowing as the Dwarven nanotechnology magic starts its work. And she gathers it all in her hands and she puts them out in front of her for Narita to put her hands in hers. Because it's kind of weird, just like, bah.
Yeah. Narita walks over and just kind of squats down a little bit, puts her hands up.
And, well, Lasness is doing this with total solemnity. You know, just like, and like in the style of anime, like there's like a limbing going around her in a bit of light, and then it's done. But it has to be very fancy.
Thank you for that.
Anyways, as I was saying, I think that we should take this time to explore the ship. And I think we should do so in an irrational manner by starting at the very bottom of the ship.
Well, I
You
mean,
said in
it's,
an irrational manner. I like that a lot. Irrational manners are us. Fritz is immediately going to look around for whatever access shaft there may be for, ducting, communications work, things like that. Basically, Fritz is looking for the Jeffries tube. So the one going down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. You can find those easy enough. Probably somewhere near those life pods on the main deck. And then there's that big cargo lift right in the middle of the floor for everybody else.
Gracia.
You're on.
I'm gone. I'm down in shaft.
Fritz is already gone.
Lasness is gonna follow, and she does it with a cannonball.
yeah.
Anyway,
I think I'm gonna take the lift.
I'll take the lift as well.
Yeah.
yeah, that seems like the better thing to do here.
All right. Do you... I should probably tell you how many levels there are to go down.
Probably would have been good before they dive down the shafts.
There are 2 levels below the main deck where the lift is. So do you want to go all the way down?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the lift will take you all the way down, and on the lowest level of the ship is the engine room. As you step out of the lift, you see roughly near the center of the deck a large crystalline structure glowing with arcane energy, surrounded by heat sinks and stabilizers and other supporting equipment, which is those of you who are familiar with ship technology would recognize this as the dark matter drive. In addition to the fancy and highly unstable device in the middle of the room, there are also access to repairing the impulse engines, shield generator, and life support systems. And this room is kept impeccably, although you can hear a soft scuttling noise that indicates that something may be living in the nooks and crannies, whether that is Fritz coming down the access tubes or something else. We shall see. So, Fritz, as you were making your way down to the bottom of the ship, would you make me a perception check?
Of course, the one thing I don't have in front of me is my dice. That was.
Uh-oh.
All right. Perception rolls require the giant die, right?
Yes, the D20 plus your wisdom.
The giant D20.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing pretty well. 22 total.
You can, in fact, see what is making that noise.
More swirls?
Not a swirl this time.
Ah.
It appears to be mechanical, but it is attempting to hide from you and has darted out of the opening to this access tube. And then the rest of the party can see it sort of like tumble out into the middle of the room and look around like, oh yeah, I meant to do that. It's a tiny two-legged construct with little arms with grabby hands, and there's sort of a sort of 3 or 4 pronged like setting at the top that looks like it's supposed to hold something, which is currently rolled across the room and landed at Narita's feet.
So Narita's just gonna bend over very slowly and then go, what is this?
It's a small crystalline sphere filled with liquid, and inside that crystal sphere somehow is a clockwork goldfish.
She picks it up and inspects it. I've never seen anything like this. Kind of shows it to the others.
Fritz, who's been fascinated at watching the little two-legged construct, is now also fascinated by the idea of a clockwork goldfish, now that Narita has held this up, and is completely torn about which one to like focus on first. It's like all the gadgets all the time.
Well, as you're looking back and forth between those two objects, you notice the little construct is sort of like feeling its way around until it bumps into Narita's feet, and then looks up, and you can see it's got a little bit of like, well, it doesn't have a face right now, but you can see Narita, you see the goldfish's eyes get bigger, and the posture of the construct sort of like perks up, like, oh.
I think that you're holding the little creature's head.
She kind of looks at it, looks down at it. Would you like this back? And she kind of leans over and hands it to it.
It takes the little goldfish orb and reattaches it in its little clamps, and it keeps staring up at you the whole time.
And she just kind of stares back, not sure what to make of it.
You're a goldfish too.
We're goldfish together. Is there something that you need? She's kind of bewildered and confused by it.
It kind of climbs up onto your boot
Oh,
and just hangs on.
okay. She just kind of looks at it, picks it up, and holds it right in front of her face. Stares at it, wondering what to do with it. Then looking around, has anyone ever seen one of these before?
That is really cool. You're also holding it about 4 feet above Fritz's head, so Fritz can't really get much of a look at it.
It's a very strange way
think
to
you
display
just,
a device.
I think you just made a friend.
Kind of still awkwardly just kind of staring at it and says, okay,
So
that's
it's
fine.
like is the fish like controlling the rest of it or something?
I don't know. She puts it down, looks at it, says, so what do you do?
It sort of scurries over towards Cole. Cole? Well, you're probably watching it, so
Yeah, very carefully.
very carefully. Make a dexterity check, because it is trying to tie your shoelaces together.
Oh no, we can't have that. I shall check all of the dexterities. Now let me try and remember what my dexterity was, because it's still modified from last time, and I know that's worn off by now. There we go. Is that right? I can't remember. Oh God.
Wait, are you still buffed? Did you remove the buff that I put on you?
I think
That's what he's doing now.
that's what I'm doing now. Do you have, by any chance, remember how much the buff was?
Yeah, it was 4. I think it was 4. It was either
I know.
3 or 4.
Because there was one, then there was another, and I can't remember what.
I want to say it was a 3, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. This looks like it makes slightly more sense, so I will roll this based on this. Okay. It's just the dex bonus, right?
Yeah.
15.
You try to dodge it, but it's faster than you, and it has somehow tied your bootlaces together.
This wasn't a save, right? Or was it?
No, just a
Regular dex
just
roll.
a
Okay.
check. Yeah,
Okay. I'm just
to see
like,
if you could,
so I just sort of stop. I'm going to reach down, and I'm going to I'm going to try to reach down and pick the thing up.
make another dexterity check.
Oh, great. This will be fun. Oh, that's not quite as good. That is a 12.
It is good enough, because the construct, in its haste to tie your bootlaces together and scramble away, has tripped over its own feet.
So I'm just going to hold it like it. I'm just going to hold it like this. I'm going to very slowly bring up my gun. I'm just going to say to it, "You are not going to do that again."
Aw, it likes you.
Narita reaches over and takes.
Do you understand?
Takes the construct away and says,
Well, I'm not letting it go till it nods that it understands. I will be watching you. If you want to keep that head where it is currently, you best be on your guard and not do any crap like that again.
Lassus looks upwards
Then I will
towards
hand it over to
Rekmara.
Narita.
I don't think he likes it.
They say I'm not very friendly.
Narita just kind of carefully cradles it in her arm and just kind of tries to reassure it that it's okay, and just kind of gives Cole the stink eye.
You see the clockwork goldfish inside that little crystal orb making bubbles and like flapping its fins indignantly.
I'm going to basically lean against the wall, slowly sort of slide down and untie my shoelaces and retie them.
Don't you have a universal translator in your suit, Narita? Couldn't you understand it?
Yes.
It's not actually speaking.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
sort of making mocking body language.
This little guy is posturing.
Yes. But you get the impression that it does understand all of you.
No. Are there more of you on this ship? Just you? How did you get here? Great. You seem to be assembling quite a few of these tiny things.
Wait
My
a sec.
apologies.
Wait a sec.
Says the man with the zoo. Says the bird with the zoo.
Lassus looks at the little clockwork goldfish. Did you want to be here?
Were you
Seems
somewhere
very
else?
Decisive.
Were you somewhere else before here? Yes. Okay. Do you know where? All right.
This thing is quite the enigma.
So other than tying shoelaces, do you do other things, other forms of mischief? All right. Okay.
You'd better avoid doing them to us, or it's getting a blaster in the face.
I don't think falling is worth destroying this poor little creature.
It is if something's attacking us.
Fair.
Anyway,
We don't know what else is down here right now.
Is there anything else down here?
Perception check.
What was that?
Make a perception check.
Perception check. All right.
Can we all make it?
Yes, you may.
Yay.
I am tying my shoes right now. I am not making the check.
Okay.
That's a
Fair.
5. Not a good check.
15 for
I got
me.
17 for me.
Only 11, but Fritz is focused on the equipment anyway.
Anything else down here? At least not anything alive. However, you do notice that in some of the nooks and crannies and compartments that hold various maintenance tools, etc., there seems to be a small hoard of credit chips and odds and ends that may have come from various crew members, like trinkets and whatnot.
Did you collect all of these?
Did you take them from the crew members?
I don't think he had permission. It had permission.
He's a tiny pickpocket.
Do they know that you were here? I think this was a stowaway. A kleptomatic stowaway.
Well,
What does your Space Scout guidebook tell you about these things?
Whenever you're in a moral quandary, seek out high and low and then do some laundry.
Laundry?
I think she missed a page.
a page,
I still got the badge.
the entire.
Some laundry, so she got a laundry badge.
Yes. I think I was supposed to get one for moral problems, but, well, the paperwork got lost.
Well,
Your organization fascinates me.
or lack of.
Anyhow.
It's not run by the matriarch side. What can I say?
Anyhow. So this is apparently the engine room. Is there anything here that we should investigate? I don't know. Lasness?
Are you asking
Fritz?
the goldfish?
No. I was like,
The group.
Lasness, Fritz. These are your. This is your area of expertise, isn't it?
Well, I'm really obsessed with the generator. It looks really, really cool. But it looks like it's running all right. Do you want to take a closer look at it, Fritz?
Huh? Fritz has been like elbows deep in every accessible cabinet through this whole area. If you hadn't already determined that the little hordes of stuff probably belonged to Goldfish Head here, Fritz probably would have just been pocketing it along the way. Otherwise, Fritz, they've just been kind of pulling it out of various places and taking it out of the way in order to access, what is in this panel, what is going on here. More to just check out the general, like, how well has this been taken care of mechanically? You said it's neat, but is it like up to date? Is there anything I need to worry about? Is this like buying an 1868 farmhouse that's been updated a few times badly and you have to replace floor joists sort of thing?
Let me take a look at the specs. It is only a class 1 dark matter engine, so it's not the greatest, and there is a lot of room for improvement, but it is generally fairly well maintained. At least better than the alchemist's lab on the space station from where you have just come.
Well, not much worse than that. So, no fake fireplaces yet, right?
No, so far, no fake fireplaces.
But there's room to put a fake fireplace in if we want to. You said, right? Expansion space?
Yeah, you probably could.
Oh my god.
You could probably hide some spiders in here somewhere.
Yeah, right. No,
Plenty of room for
the spider
spiders.
thing taken care of, I think. One mechanical spider pod is enough. But yeah, Fritz is just going to make sure that they're really familiar with what the layout and possibilities are down here, but it looks pretty straightforward. Are there any other rooms or access points off this, or is the whole bottom level the engine propulsion?
This is all engineering and propulsions down here. There is just the lift going back up.
Or the tube, which is the way Fritz
Or
is
the
probably
tubes, yes.
When we get to heading back up, Fritz will take one of those.
All right. Suppose that answers that. Where else should we go next? I'm gonna look for the exits out of this room.
Looks like up from here.
Pretty much back up the way you came.
All right.
Go to the floor we passed on the way down.
Yeah, we may as well just work our way up since we're down here already.
Yeah.
That seems rationally irrational.
Or we go all the way to the top and come back down.
I mean, no point in just, going back all the way, taking the time to go all the way back up just to make the numbers come out. Yeah.
So is this you taking this construct with us?
Yeah. He seems fine. It seems fine. You seem fine.
I just look down at it and I'm like...
It would probably be safer if you just, sat on Narita's shoulders. Kind of like this thrall here.
We could have matching creatures. So Narita puts it on her shoulder.
Crap, I forgot you had that.
How could you forget Zed?
Well, I mean, he's
You named it?
to all of you.
Those of you who actually look at the Thorl, including Rekmara, who is indicating that it should be there, please make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, that's right.
Man.
We may or may not see the thing. I do not see the thing.
19.
7.
Nope, Narita can't see it.
Darn it.
I nattied.
Right. You can see it. Anybody who rolled 12 or higher can see that it is still there.
I can't see.
Rekmara, can you not see your own pet?
He's got pets he can't see, pets he can't eat. He's in trouble now, right?
No, I can see it. I can see Zed. And to reiterate that point, he's actually going to take a good berry out of one of his bandolier pouches and feed it to Zed.
It does sort of take a bite, suck the juice out, and then toss the remaining, at least temporarily dispelled mistletoe berry and throw it at the goldfish.
Oh my.
Zed, that was not very polite.
Does the goldfish just take that? Such disrespect, Zed.
Someone's an
We're not going to
Instagram.
have our familiars battle it out right now, so let's just move on. And he's just going to move on, step onto the lift.
Narita just staring at where he is. Can't see him. She does the same thing.
She can't even turn her cap backwards because if she did, then she wouldn't be able to see out the back.
She has to turn her whole body. It's fine.
This is going to end so well. So very well. Just get into the left.
Okay, so you go back up, and it goes up the next level to the cargo hold, and there are 2 doors towards the back and 1 towards the front of the ship.
Why don't we go to the bow first? Is it called the bow in space, or is it the spow?
It's a spell.
Oh my god.
It occurs to me that if Fritz is going up the tunnel, Fritz is going to end up in a room rather than probably where the lift has opened out.
Okay, Fritz, roll me a d6 to figure out which room you end up in.
Where am I? I'm in the second room, number 2.
Turns out you have hopped out into the cargo hold.
Oh, okay. Luckily.
So there's like one door on one side of the room and 2 doors on the other.
Yes.
Is there anything else in the cargo hold?
There is. It's lined with barrels and crates and boxes.
Seems familiar.
It's a very orderly cargo hold. There are just more stacks of silk lashed to the storage compartment areas, and more casks and barrels, probably of more of the same stuff you found previously.
Yeah. Oh, so wait a minute. Is this the part of the shipment that God, what's his name was supposed to be getting at the station? The
Perhaps.
captain.
Or
Interesting.
another shipment from someone else who is missing their booze.
There's a lot of stolen goods here. Huh. Right. Are the 2 doors to the fore or to aft?
To the aft.
Okay. I drew it right. Okay.
Yay.
Where do we want to go?
Lastness, we have door options. What's up?
Well, why don't we just keep going to the furthest point and then just making our way towards the center, then make our way towards the front.
All right, lead on.
Okay, and she does so. So we'll go to the furthest door, or the furthest
Okay.
entrance.
All right. So you head towards the back of the ship, and that would be the door on the right.
I summon my rocket hammer, and I raise it high overhead, and then I stop and I look at Fritz, and I put it down, and I test the doorknob.
Thank you.
It opens. It opens up into a cabin with a table in the middle of it, and on the table there is a pewter flagon and a pewter mug. Somebody's into old-timey, retro-looking dishware. Next to the table is a chair, and above it there is lighting in the ceiling. Also hanging from the ceiling at the aft end of the cabin is a large cage with a parrot inside, apparently asleep. There is a bed, and at the foot of the bed there is an old-timey trunk.
Oh, that's so archaic. It's sweet. It's got buckles on it and everything.
Sure it does. You remember seeing one of the crew members that was really leaning into the pirate theme.
He sure did. It was almost laughable, but he did have pretty decent sword skills, so, you know, gotta give credit where it's due. Lastness goes over to the chest and tests it to see if it will open.
Okay, as you step into the room, the parrot flies out of its cage and lands on the trunk and says, "Oh, nice chest." But it appears to be looking out the door at the druid.
Rekmara's just going to turn and look behind him.
We could say the same of yours.
So,
Rekmara is going to cast Speak with Animals.
okay.
And I'm going to need you to step off that chest right now.
Or what?
You really don't want to give me any sass. And he's going to heft his son's staff.
The parrot takes off and then lands on the shaft of your weapon and perches.
That's all right. Do you have a name?
Pieces of 8.
Pieces of 8.
Seriously, that's its name?
That's what it's telling me.
This guy was really into the retro thing.
It really was. Very bizarre. Anyway, so he's just going to heft the sun staff with the parrot on it onto his shoulders. Like, I guess you can stay with me for a little bit. And then he'll just nod over at the chest and ask us to open it up. By the way, I'm just going to call you Fred for short. So you're Fred. This is my other pal, Zed.
I thought he was
You have a
dead.
name? Yeah, it's Zed and Fred. And I don't know. Does your little robot there have a name, Narita?
I guess we're gonna call him Ted.
Right on.
So we've had a Ned, a Zed, a Fred, and a Ted. That's 4. We just need 4 more Eds.
No,
We have
I'm
all
not
8.
renaming Sparky.
He could be Sped.
I was just going to say that is not going to happen. We can argue about not calling the spider Sped all we want to. But Leslie, do you need a hand with that chest, or is that okay?
I will find out in just a moment, she says as she checks the buckles again to see if they'll just flip open.
Ew. It is not locked.
If there's pirate regalia in this, I don't know what we're going to do.
Inside the chest, there's clothing. It's dirty laundry.
Ugh. I'm not touching any of that. I learned my lesson with the spores.
Well, we could save it for the next time you have a moral quandary then.
It doesn't look like old clothing, though, right? It looks like the stuff that would have belonged to the crew member that was here, yeah?
It looks like it belonged to the bosun.
You know, like,
It's just...
I don't think it's been that long since the guy did his laundry.
But still. But Rita looks over at Ted Dread
Maybe.
and asks, "Can you check in the?"
Oh, you are all wearing life suits now, so you don't have to worry about spores if there are any.
Oh, it's just gross. Gotcha.
Narita's been wearing a life suit this whole time. Or you can just leave it.
Narita
Wait.
will ask Ted to go into the chest to see if there's anything worth finding without having to touch it.
Okay. Ted will happily scramble into the chest and rifle through the clothing, and underneath the clothing that gets sort of hefted out over the edges of the box, you can see an iron box. And oh yeah, the bosun did have a key on his belt, which you would have claimed last week if I had remembered that it was there. So we'll say you had that.
I don't think the chest is going to have spores, Lasness. You're probably okay opening it.
All right. Okay. And she starts like hyping herself up. I'm not a coward. Okay. Get in the fucking box.
Say what? No.
Sorry. Evangelion joke. Anyway, she starts.
First time I've heard her swear.
You did. I'm sorry, guys.
My image is shattered forever.
Lasness starts to stir the clothes around and kind of like discard them out. Socks, underwear, shirt, pants.
Box, not socks. Open the box.
Sorry. Anyway, she opens the box.
Hello? Hello? I quite like food.
What?
What?
Lasness drops the box.
What was that?
Don't read the captions because they don't make sense.
There is a voice coming from the wall at the back of the room.
Fritz will take a closer look.
All right, Fritz. If you would, please make a perception check as you examine this wall.
18.
You absolutely find a secret door.
Dude.
You know exactly what to look for already because you found several.
Yes.
Or have watched Cole find several.
Yes. Not a lot of originality in the secret door department around here,
No,
right?
apparently not.
Yeah. All right. Hey, secret door.
Fireplaces.
Yeah. How tall is this secret door, by the way? Because Fritz has decided that secret doors above a certain height need to be opened by somebody other than them, just because big things tend to come out of them. So.
It's probably Cole-sized.
Hey, Cole, why don't you open this door?
Suspiciously sized, just for me. I'm gonna go over and I'm taking out my blaster. I'm just sort of going and looking up and down. Who's there?
Fritz does pull out the wrench mace, by the way.
I already told you I'm not giving away any secrets, but I would like some food.
You armed?
Is that a trick question?
Well, the trick is, if I open this thing, you're gonna shoot me.
That's not really how tricks work, Cole.
I still won't tell you my name.
That's
I've been
fine.
trained.
I just want to know if you're planning to start shooting when we open this door or not.
I mean,
That's
he
a really
sounds
weird question.
I think it's a prisoner.
Yeah, it sounds like it. All right, hang on. We're opening it up. I'm going
You can
to.
step back. Take a step back.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stand to the side of the door if I can.
Okay.
Just sort of gun at the ready, and I'm gonna try to open it up.
You can kind of stand off to the side, and the door slides open, and it opens up into a dark, cramped area. Maybe 5 feet wide at best, squeezed in between the stern and the cabin, which appears to be a holding cell, and there is a nautilid aqua suit crammed inside.
Is it just the suit?
No, there
Body?
is a person inside of it, but the suit has been wedged in there and chained to the hull with the person inside.
Oh, damn. Did you find a key in there? I'm turning to whoever it was that looked through the trunk.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
Did I find a key?
Not in the trunk,
Okay.
but you have the keys from the bosun's belt.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Who
You
has
have this
them?
guy's keys?
Madison, you have the keys from the belt. One
Oh,
of them
dope.
opens the iron box. We're assuming that the other ones might have something to do with whatever's locking said nautilid to said small space.
Okay. Then I'll clunk on over and start trying my keys
Okay.
from the belt.
And while you are attempting to free the prisoner, Trooper, would you describe your character for us?
Well, you can't see the character itself really, but there's a character that's like most Nautilid, fairly well built. Sort of seems like sort of strong character in this huge, bulky, old-timey sort of diving suit full of water, with a little sort of speaker system right on the bottom of the huge sort of diving bell helmet, and so where out of which sort of sounds come. They look a little worse for wear. Their aqua suit's got some sort of smudge of oil right on it. They look like they've been here for some time. There is probably not too far near them like a bowl where some sort of food sits there, half right, sort of like little, it's probably been there for some time. Food's been eaten, but the little bits that are left probably tells you this food is not fresh. This person probably has not been fed in a while, and they are sort of chained right to one of the bulkhead, sort of in this space. But other than that, other than their aqua suit, they don't have anything else on them. They have no other equipment or items, just this suit.
Hang on. I'll get you out, she says as she's still fiddling with the keys.
Right. So we're gonna take our break.
Righto, we shall be back in 5-10 minutes or so, and we shall see what happens when we release this person.
You all die! Surprise!
They'll immediately run to blow up the ship. Excellent! I can't wait. We'll be back in a few minutes. See you shortly. Welcome to Abject Break Time Confabulation. I'm very excited because Summer is here to talk about some of the awesome things that she does. Hello!
Hello. I'm here.
Yes, I'm very pleased. This is once again me trying to do more break content, and we'll see how this goes. But Summer runs Off the Table, which is a channel I have mentioned a number of times to folks, so I thought I'd bring you on to have you talk a little bit about it for anyone who might not be familiar. Tell us what
Yes.
is Off the Table and
What isn't? It is, it's just your classic TTRPG channel. Yeah, Off the Table is just a little community where we get together and about, once a season, we have a bunch of new games coming on. It's just a really good group of really nice people who are very welcoming and kind, who love drama, smooches, being sad, and love telling stories about those things. So yeah, it's just a community. It's been around for about 2.5 years now. We got our start doing a lot of interview content. We used to have an interview show, or talk show rather, called Off the Table, where we interviewed GMs, and that's kind of how we got our start. And then kind of as we realized that we were all perpetual GMs, we started opening the floor to give people space to play games, and that's kind of what it turned into, just because we had such a big list of people who wanted to play games. It was awesome. We've just been steadily growing slowly but surely. Yeah,
very cool.
It's chill. It's a really chill place.
It is, and actually, it's the thing is that something I noted even from the start of when I started watching your channel when it was Grant was doing a thing. He was doing his Life on Mard game over there, and then the thing that caught me was the Burning Wheel campaign. Which was had the essence of sadness contained within it, pure, unadulterated sadness, which was such a delight.
Yeah, you came on our worst episode. I mean, it was technically probably it's one of our lost episodes. I love our Burning Wheel campaign because all of the best episodes are lost, because I was in such an emotional state after them. I didn't remember to save the VODs. So all of the heavy hitters are just gone. And if you weren't there, it's too bad. You missed it. But you were there. You were there for the worst episode when I died.
I know. And that was just, that had such an impact. And yeah. I think the thing that for anyone who might be seeing this and wondering, why would I want to watch or play something sad? The thing is, there is a level of drama there that you can get at, because it's for me at least, watching this is part of it is kind of real, because you're pulling this thing out of yourself while you're playing this game.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I think it kind of is a way to process things.
Yeah.
I think your channel is the first one that I saw that makes makes heavy use of safety tools, so that you can go to that. But how did you eventually come to decide you wanted to run games that way?
Well, it really just kind of organically happened. We had a bunch of viewer games where we had casts rotating in and out, where we had new casts every week. We did a really fun thing where we had 4 characters, but new people would play them every time. And so it was really fun to see what a new person did with the same character. And you would just throw shit against the wall, and then the people the week after you had to deal with it. It was really fun. Oh, and different GMs every week too, who picked up from the last place, which is awesome. But we had 2 long-term campaigns start up at the same time. One was Tales from Thersha, which I'm still running. It's our long-term D&D 5e homebrew campaign that's been going on since, for nearly 2 years. And then we have the Burning Wheel campaign, which just wrapped earlier this year. And that was our second campaign on the channel. And it really was just happenstance that it was Steven, me, Dingo, and Katie. And we just had such a great chemistry. And I don't think we ever, if you had asked me, is this going to be a tragic story? I never would have. And of course, Burning Wheel is pretty tragic in itself, the system. But it was just so heavy and emotional. And it was my first character that I had ever played in any game campaign, like ever. And same for Katie and Dingo, first outside of D&D. And we all just kind of were like, oh, so this is what roleplay games are like. Like, they're just like this. They're like, none of us knew any different. And so every game that came to the channel after, Dingo started running Monster Hearts 2, which was an emotional heavy hitter. And then Katie started running Monster of the Week. And we started having all these other systems come onto the channel. But it was that core of just our freshness to the community, like our first like game that was so heavy. We were like, oh, this is what we like, this is what we want, and this is what we're going to do more of. And so that just kind of happened organically. And then obviously the second I heard about safety tools, I was like, oh, fuck, we need these. Given how how emotional Burning Wheel was. And we just started using them for every game right away, just because we were like, we love the emotional stuff, but we have to take care of ourselves because bleed is like a very, obviously very real thing. I mean, you know, you were in my Urban Shadows campaign.
Yes.
That bleed is like very, very real
Absolutely.
on everyone's end. Yeah.
That was the first campaign I think I ever played in that actively used safety tools.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it fundamentally changed how I approach RPGs these days.
Yeah.
And it was incredibly awesome. Dingo killed me at the end of season 1. It was great. Spoilers. But it's seriously, we would not have been able to go there if we hadn't had that in place, I think.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we talked about all of that ahead of time. Like, I remember messaging you, just be like, this is like the path that Frank is on right now. Is that okay?
Oh, absolutely. No, and it was totally fine. It was totally fine. And it was just the experience is just one that I think every time you have an experience like that, I don't think it's one that can in and of itself be replicated. And so it's just, it was a beautiful thing. So I heartily recommend folks go and check out Off the Table. If you have not, what are you doing? If you're watching streaming and you haven't checked out Off the Table, please
just come see us. Come hang out with us. We're so nice.
It's at off_the_table on Twitch. Was there any other things you wanted to leave us with here, or contacts or anything like that?
If you just want to follow off_the_table on Twitch and Twitter, that's where you can find out everything that we've got going on. Obviously, I don't know when this is airing, but we have a bunch of new games that are coming to the channel here in the next couple of weeks. So it's a perfect time to get in, ground floor. You don't need any backstory. You can jump in at the beginning of all these awesome stories that are about to come up. So yeah, just follow those places. It's a good time. We promise to deliver on the drama. We promise, and probably being sad. And probably kissing. Lots of kissing and romance.
Believe it. Go check that out.
Yes. Please come see us. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. We have returned, and we must find out what is happening.
So, Lesness, you are able to free the prisoner, and Trooper, you are able to exit the cramped cell if you wish.
You're on mute.
I want to make sure none of them will kill me first, that they're not pirates. And so I look I don't approach them. Like, I can't get out of the cell without getting by them, and they might try to murder me because they look like they're armed. So I just, shy a little bit away from them and keep my hands visible.
Okay.
Maybe we should
So we
describe
back
ourselves
away.
to them.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. That's
Them.
fair.
Would you all like to describe your characters?
Sure, I said it, so I'll start. Fritz is short. Fritz is about 3 feet high, and they're sitting there with a fairly good-sized socket wrench type piece of equipment that could also probably kneecap you if you really got out of hand. And just kind of hanging back, watching a little bit.
Let's see. Cole is human. He's about like 6 footish. This is sandy blonde hair, and he's wearing an overcoat that's sort of an older space policeman, basically space police ranger coat. He does have a blaster, but he's putting it, he's lowering it, and he's backing away. As you can see, he's got that, and he's got like a couple other weapons sort of strapped, or another weapon strapped over his back, and a couple, various gear. Lots of pockets. Pockets are important.
So Rekmara is an Aviara. He's about 5'2", 5'3", with a very dark face and feathers, and he's wearing actually no, he's still wearing that life suit, so you can't actually see what he's wearing underneath that. But on his shoulder, you'll see that he's got his sun staff just resting there, and there's a parrot sitting on top of it. And depending on how good your perception is, you'll see that there's also a thwirl on his other shoulder.
Trooper, would you make a wisdom saving throw as you look at this guy with the bird head?
I do not make the 12. I do not see the swirl at all.
No, he's got a parrot on one shoulder, and he keeps looking at the other shoulder for some reason, but you're not sure why.
And what about the person who freed me, or who undid my chains?
So you see a short, somewhat stocky, blue-haired, dusky blue-skinned dwarf who is trying to be calming but really doesn't quite know how, so she keeps throwing you like these worried smiles, like everything's okay, you don't have to be worried, you're safe now.
Narita's kind of in the back picking up her little construct, but she's also very large, so 7'4", nautilid in her aquid suit. Just kind of looking at the goings on while picking up Ted.
And my character sort of sees, right, this other nautilid, and like gestures to you and says,
"Are you have you come to take me away? Or I mean, are you the pirates?"
Ew, no.
Look around like we're the worst pirates.
Gee whiz, I was awful scared. Who are you?
Do we have a name yet?
No.
We're kind of
supposed to have a name.
We're kind of fixer agents. We kind of take different jobs that come up. This
is our first job.
Yeah, basically.
It's our best job.
Well, gosh, you should know that there are pirates in this ship, and they're dangerous, and you should watch out because they might capture you. Like, they captured me.
Oh, well,
There
we
are a lot
got
of
the.
them.
Well, we got most all the ones that were up on the bridge, and then we sent out a call to try to bring the rest of them up. There are about what there were like about 9 of them, something like that.
Something like that.
10, I think, eventually.
Yeah.
The important thing is there's no pirates, just us.
That we know of.
We think we got all of them.
And-
That's what our scans are telling us anyway.
Well, there might
Of
be
course,
more
we didn't
thwarls.
find you, so.
And constructs. I mean, there's little guys running around.
Yeah, so watch your shoelaces.
Checks his shoelaces just in case.
Does your diving suit have laces?
No. But I check anyway.
Smart.
How'd you get
Thank
here?
you for saving me.
Sorry.
How long have you all been here in Saltmaw? What day?
I've been here a couple of years. But,
Different
It's-
lengths of time.
it's
What day is it?
Yeah.
Well, according to the Dwarven calendar, which is the best calendar because it's a Star Dwarven calendar, she rattles off the year, date, and month. And then she says, and we've really answered all your questions. So really, I would like to know one myself. Who are you?
Okay, promise me you're not pirates though trying to trick me. I've been told pirates do that. They pretend like they're your friends, but then they're not. Okay, you promise?
Scout's honor. Promise.
If we were pirates, we would just lie to you anyway. So can you trust the promise that we're going to make?
Ah, gee whiz.
Oh my
Now you've
god.
made it difficult.
But the only real Nautilid who understood your psychology would have mentioned that in the first place. And so we have to be telling the truth because that's the only way that we would have then revealed the fact that we could possibly be lying, but we're not telling the truth.
You know, I don't understand any of that, but I agree with it.
If we were actually pirates, we'd already be trying to argue and try to figure out what you're worth on the market. We don't seem to be doing that. Also, we'd probably come up with something a little more creative than this.
Lastness checks to make sure Rekmara isn't valuing his worth.
Yeah. Or raising his staff.
Preparing to throw him in the line of fire.
I suppose that
Why
makes
is
sense.
everyone looking at me funny?
I feel so attacked right now.
I'm Oceanus with the ship Manon, and I hope it's still in dock. Did you see it? It hasn't left yet, right? I hope.
Well, what's the last day you remember?
I've been here for a while.
Sorry, guys.
It's, I don't know how long I've been here. They've fed me 3 times, but they have not fed me often. 3 times, but I don't know if they fed me every day or every other day or how often because I don't have a chronometer, so I cannot tell. And I think I'm going to be in trouble.
I'm sorry, what was the name of your ship again?
The Manon.
Manon.
So,
I think we can come to find out whether or not they're still in dock,
Yeah.
right?
so
Right.
Rekmara is going to contact Iota. This is Rekmara of the party as of yet to be named. Dialing in Iota. Muted.
This is Saltmaw Station. Go ahead, Rekmara.
Hi, Iota. Is there a ship the name of Manon still in dock?
Yes, the Nautilid World's ship is still at port for resupply.
Thank you. Your ship is still indeed docked.
But
Could
you
you,
wanna get there.
could you relay a message to that ship and inform them that we have found a missing crew member of theirs?
Oceanus.
Oceanus.
Why did you say you might be in trouble?
Because I've not come back. It's been a while, and I was not supposed to be gone long. I was supposed to just check to see what this ship was doing and then come back and report what they were doing. But then what they were doing involved hitting me on the head and then putting me in a small box. And then I might be in trouble. It's my first mission. They sent me off to go. It's like a lot of responsibility to check out what the ship was doing, because it was a little bit suspicious. And I said I could do it. It was my first time doing something like this. And I got caught.
I'm sure they had a very, very good reason for sending you on this very suspicious, dangerous mission as your very first mission. So we'll try to make sure that you get connected back to your ship so that everyone understands what happened.
Lastness looks to Rekmara and mouths the words, excuse me, staking space horse.
Rekmara just stares back stone-faced. I don't know what that is.
So, did you find the weapons?
Weapons.
What weapons?
The weapons that the pirates were loading up onto the ship.
Oh, they're probably in one of these other rooms, right?
We just haven't found them yet.
Yeah.
Well, if it will assist you in your mission, then you can probably just tag along with us. I mean, it seems like we just welcome all sorts of things with us, as he gestures to Ted, Fred, and Zed.
Still can't see anything on that shoulder.
I see him gesture to 3 things, but there are only 2 things there, and just try to be polite about it. And then I turn to Narita.
How long have you been a seeker?
Excuse me?
How long have you been a seeker?
Not long. How about you?
I just started.
Huh.
I thought you'd have tips.
When we were speaking of seeking, it's difficult, especially because we all seek different things. What are you seeking?
The same thing you're seeking, right?
Probably.
Okay. I was worried there for a second. But it's good to know. We're both seeking the same thing. But you haven't found it?
Nope, I wouldn't be here if I'd found it. How about you?
No, I just got kidnapped by pirates. But I think there might be a clue. I think there might be a clue here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where? Here on the ship? Or Saltmaw?
Maybe. No, on the ship.
Oh, okay. What kind of clue for what this thing is that we're both seeking?
Mr. Bird, sir? Yes?
For those of us who are not familiar with Nautilid culture, what are you exactly looking for?
Right. Of course, you wouldn't know. And I look and give Narita that look like they don't know, but we know. I mean, we're looking for a new homeland, of course. A place where we can, breathe. Because we can't suit, right? So, okay, Mr. Birdman, I'm in a suit, and I'm in a suit because I can't breathe outside of the suit because I've got gills, but I can only breathe like a special sort of water. It's called, you don't know much about us, do you? It's okay. You're in the air because you're a bird person, but I'm in the water because I'm not a bird person. And we need a special thing. It's called Poseidon solution, but most planets don't have it. So we're looking for ocean planets that have it, and it's our job, it's our mission to go off into space, into the stars, and then maybe find a planet where we could, take off our little helmets and kick back and just be around. But so here's the thing. We haven't found it yet. But we're looking. But here's the thing. So there's a planet, right? Chiron. I don't know if you know it. I haven't been there. But this ship, right? This one, the Space Ghost, they came from that planet, right? But the planet has got some kind of, I don't know. So here's the thing about Nautilus that you non-Nautilids don't know, but you might want to know. I think I can say it's not a secret, right? Because I wouldn't tell any secrets. It's not a secret, right? And he turns to you, Rita. It's okay for me to say?
Yeah, sure. We're with friends.
Okay.
Yeah, it's honor.
Okay. She said it was okay. She's taller than me, so she's right. So we can tell. We've got a sense, we've got a keen, keen sensing things. We can sense if there's a Poseidon solution, anywhere. If it's we've got pretty good long distance sensing. We can feel it, vibes, vibrations, good, And this planet, though, Chiron, we can't tell if there's anything on there or not. It's it's been blocked. There's a space shield kind of mysteriousness. Anyway, this shit came from that planet, and then they were hiding in this weird part of the station that's sort of abandoned and no one knows, and they seemed very mysterious, and they came from a planet that we couldn't sense from. But then my ship, my captain said, you should do something to make yourself useful. And I was like, I'm always useful. And they're like, are you? And I'm like, yes. So then they sent me off to go and just check out the ship to see what's going on, because maybe it's the key to everything. So I went and I was like, I can't tell what the ship is doing because I'm not inside the ship. So I went inside the ship and I was like, those are guns. That's bad. And then I turned around, whoosh, and then there was a guy with a construct on his left hand. And then he was like, hi. And then he hit me in the head. And then I woke up and then I was in this room and it didn't feel good. I didn't like it. And I think I'm late.
You are quite the master storyteller.
Late for what?
So am I...
For my job.
Did they give you any way to protect yourself as you decided to hunt the pirates?
Yes, I had weapons, and I practiced with those weapons, and they took them from me. Not my ship, but the pirates, because I didn't have them in my hand when I was sneaking around. I was sneaking, but it turns out these suits are not super sneaky. Anyway, I did not have them in my hand. I had them on my body, and then I got hit in the head, and then I woke up, and then I didn't have them. If we could find them, that would be good, because they're not mine personally. They were assigned to me by the ship, and I'll get in trouble if I don't have them.
The ship, the captain who sent you here on your very first mission by yourself to investigate a ship that was infested with bloodthirsty pirates.
I think they'll be in more trouble if you come back, to be honest. But that's all right. We'll get you back.
Why would they be in trouble?
Anyway. So...
Yeah, you see Cole actually stands, he's been sitting on the bed just sort of listening to all this influence, and he sort of stands up, and you can see he's actually a little upset. This is that's... And he just sort of will look over at Narita. That's standard practice for these kinds of ships, do you think? Do this kind of thing?
Not at all. They shouldn't send someone this new and this kind.
I'm gonna have some choice words for these people when we get back.
Oh, you're gonna lay down the law, are you?
I just sort of say, and I just sort of gesture at at Oceanus. I'm like, they sent this kid by himself to get him. They sent this kid by themselves to get. I'm sorry, but it's like to get them killed. Apparently,
Right.
you don't do that.
I'm sorry.
It's
Sorry,
What?
I
It's
messed
not your
up.
fault.
It's not your fault. Did they give you anything else when they sent you here?
Well, I had my weapons.
Okay. But other than the weapons, nothing else.
No communicating.
No, because that might give it away. You know, like what if they called me and then it went shh, and then they heard me when I was trying to sneak out around and everything. And anyway, they gave me like good words. They said, you can do it. And I could do it. I didn't do it.
Oh, but you did do it.
You did it. You did. You really did. It's just it didn't go as planned. It's fine.
I just didn't.
You survived.
That's right.
That's all you really need to do in nature.
Surviving is half the battle.
Hey, so who are you exactly? Why are you here? You're good guys. Clearly, gesturing to Narita. And you, of course, for getting me up, but could we check their logs to see maybe what they were doing on Chiron?
Sure.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
We would have to go back to the bridge for that, I assume.
Well,
Yeah,
we have
we're
a few more rooms to check before we get back up there.
Yeah, we're on our way up. We're just checking through everything to make sure that now we got to make sure there aren't any more prisoners in the walls around here.
Right. And Lasness holds up a key.
Yeah.
I found an Allen wrench.
Rekmara, you did take an almanac, a slightly outdated one, detailing a section of coastline on the planet Chiron for some reason. That was in the smuggler's hoard, or in one of their quarters. In their quarters.
Yeah, it was. You picked that one.
I did.
Oh.
I will share that later, not now.
Fritz, now wondering whether or not there are more people locked in walls around here. We'll just make it a matter of course. For every room that they go into, they're going to check for the secret doors that they can now find very easily.
So you don't mind if I walk around with you, right?
It would probably be safest for you if you did.
Okay.
We don't need to give him a name that rhymes in Ed, right?
No.
No, they've already got a name.
They have a name.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go, Lasned.
She stamps her foot. Don't call me that. But she moves on to the next door.
Lasness, did you ever get around to opening that case that came out of the seed chest?
Oh yeah, I guess I should do that.
Yeah, no, she never did.
All right, I'll give it a try.
The
If
keys
it matters,
from...
my last name is Pred. Does that matter?
Yes, it matters.
Most excellent.
So much now.
The parrot on Rekmara's shoulder says, "Pieces of eight."
Yeah, whatever, Fred.
With the key, Lasness, you are able to unlock that iron box, and inside there is an antimatter dagger, a rocket hammer, and a blaster. Oceanus, you recognize these weapons.
Oh, those are mine.
Oh,
That one and that one.
go for it. She hands them back over. Are they loaded / charge / I don't know.
The rocket hammer and antimatter dagger are functional. It appears the blaster may have been tampered with. Or fallen on when someone was knocked unconscious.
What is that rocket hammer any better than technically my rocket hammer?
No.
Okay.
It's probably on par.
Okay. Salute. Okay, so I open it up, and I look at all that, and I say, blaster looks broken, Oceanus. Here, and she offers him the rocket hammer. See, you press this button, and it telescopes. And then you take the heavy part, and you put that on the thing you don't want to be a thing anymore.
Blaster's
Right.
broken? Blaster needs to be
I'm gonna
fixed,
get-
right?
Yes.
I'm gonna get in
Yeah,
trouble.
hand it over. Hand it over. Fritz then proceeds to sit cross-legged on the floor, and you know perfectly well that Fritz is just going to sit there and fix the blaster and catch up with you guys wherever you end up. So you
All right.
lost Fritz for a little bit.
See you in 10, Fritz.
Should we leave Fritz by themselves, alone?
Yeah, they could take care of themselves.
The parrot flies back to the cage.
There, now
Okay,
she's not
see?
alone.
Sort of marches
Yeah.
back and forth.
No, they're not alone. They've got a spider.
And Fred. Don't forget Fred.
Yeah, but I'll pull the spider bot out too, just to make sure we got a whole menagerie of stuff around here. So yeah.
And Oceanus will follow the rest of the group and just sort of wave to Fritz while putting the rocket hammer back on their back.
Why did you give him your rocket hammer?
Well, there's a second rocket hammer.
Oh,
It was in the box.
oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm keeping mine. It has a prettier finial.
This one's my rocket hammer. Well, it's my ship's rocket hammer. It's the one that was assigned to me. After
How many are there?
crew members?
There are many like it.
Oh, there are many like it, but this one's mine. Why do you ask?
Just wondering if the credo still stands.
Yes.
Nice. So you did say there was another door, so I think I'll go to that one.
Yes. All right. So
And I'll
on
bounce
to the
behind you,
next door.
just very excited.
Is that slosh or bounce?
A little bit of both. When you bounce and there's some sloshing.
Rita's just kind of like staring at him uncomfortably, or at them, excuse me, uncomfortably, like, what is happening?
Yeah. The Venn diagram between bounce and slosh is kind of like Oceanus is right there in the middle.
The goldfish inside the little orb on top of the tiny robot body is going.
As an aside, Rekmara is just going to whisper to Narita, "You're not really seeking your own new homeworld, are you?"
Rita looks over and says, "No, I am." Says it out loud. Nods. Keeps nodding.
Right.
Okay. So, Lasness, you go to the next door, and it is not locked. You open it, and this cabin occupies the other half of the stern section, with one bulkhead running along the center of the ship, and along this bulkhead, leading toward the bow, is an enclosed championway. At its foot, the door in the central bulkhead leads to the other part of the stern, and on this door hangs a dark blue cloak. There is a single bunk, the bed, linen, heaped in a pile against the hull. At its foot there is another brass-bound wooden sea chest, closed, and underneath the bunk is a brass box, also closed. In the center of the cabin there is a table. On it are 2 books, one open and one propped up against the other. One open and propped up against the other. Make improvised little desk there for reading. Beside the table is a chair. Again, the same type of lighting in the ceiling. And to the aft of that is a 3-foot hatch in the ceiling.
Okay. So Lasness is going to look around and shrug and say, I'll start with the trunk. Does anyone want to look for any more secret doors?
Yeah, I'll take a gander.
Okay. So
And
I'll walk.
Oceanus is just like keeping sly looks at Narita, just like checking out what Narita's doing. And like if Narita makes like a gesture, then Oceanus makes the same gesture, like because Narita's clearly super cool, and like so Oceanus wants to kind of be cool like Narita. So like if Narita is sort of like, just kind of subtly like trying to be like Narita.
Oh no. It's like one of those things where you're like, okay, everyone name your favorite band. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, half a second so that way you can
Yes.
finish it with them.
Yes. Exactly.
Oceanus, as you are doing this and trying to mimic and emulate your new hero, you notice that the little clockwork goldfish inside the robot's head is doing the same thing with its fins.
Narita's kind of caught on to this because she's kind of sending all these awkward looks over at Oceanus just because he's been so odd. And she also notices the little goldfish too, and then decides that someone has to do something else. So she puts it down and asks it to get the box from under the bed.
Right. So the box is retrieved from under the bed. A tiny little construct. It squeals the box as it is shoved across the floor. And Cole, perception check, looking for that secret door.
Righto. 20.
Yep. You pretty much you go to the exact same place as the previous secret door, and there's another one.
Okay, so I'm going to stop him like in that area. Bastard. I'm going to knock on it real quick.
Who's there?
If I don't hear anything, I shrug and I open it.
Okay. Again, it's a similarly cramped area, same dimensions as the previous secret room, sandwiched between the cabin and the ship's stern. This one has 8 large, irregularly shaped bundles wrapped in oilskin and bound with rope, piled on the floor as if they were thrown in from the doorway.
Okay, I'm going to cautiously look at one of these bundles, try to figure out what it is. So, like, I'll take out one of the bundles and I'll set it down somewhere.
Okay.
And, like, on the table, if there's a table, you said, right?
Yep.
I'll set it down on the table. And just start undoing
you
it.
heft that bundle, you, given your military background, have just picked up a stack of weapons. And you unwrap it, and
so actually, if I know that that's what's in there,
yes.
actually, before I do it,
it's
I'm
got
gonna,
the right sort of like shape. It's weapons.
Yeah, I'm gonna set it down. I'm just gonna be like, so and it's sort of like if the camera were facing me as I'm facing the compartment. Everyone else is behind me and can't see my face. I do smile a little bit, and as I'm picking it up, and then I turn around. I'm grim again as I turn around and I set it down, and I kind of look over at Oceanus. I'm like, hey, you want to open this? See what's in it?
Sure. There are no traps, right?
I don't think so. I'm looking at it to see if there are traps because
it just appears to be a bunch of weapons wrapped up and tied together.
Because I was told to check for traps before I open the thing next time.
Oceanus, would you like to make a perception check to do that?
No, because my friend said there are no traps, so I don't need to check now.
All right.
Oh my god.
He's the best.
What happened to trust but verify?
What?
So I'll go over there, and I'll open up the bundle, not checking for traps, because my friend said there are no traps, and I'm gonna undo this bundle, and like peek in.
There appear to be 10 repeater blasters wrapped up in this little bundle.
Pew pew.
Gee whiz. Blasters. I think these pirates were not good people.
I guess do you think these are the weapons you were looking for?
Well, I wasn't looking for weapons. I was just looking to see what they were doing. And they had weapons, and these are them. Some of them, at least. Why do you think they needed weapons? What do you think they were doing with them? What do you think we're going to do with them? What do you think they were going to do with me?
That's another question, actually. Why were they keeping you alive? They might have been wanting to use you as a hostage or something.
Is this conjecture going to help us right now? The important thing is that they're locked up, we've got their ship, and Oceanus is out.
Thank you.
But it does beg the
Open the
question.
other bundles?
Yeah, there are like 7 more in there.
No traps. I open up the second one.
Okay.
Sometimes if you say no traps, that does it. It's like a good luck mantra. You just say no traps, and then there aren't any. No traps.
No traps. So far, so good. 2 for 2. This is a bundle of 10 battle fists.
Ooh.
Like Narita has.
Battle fist.
Just Rickmara just scratches the back of his head and looks really uncomfortably at Narita and Cole.
Narita's just kind of staring wordlessly, just like, what is happening?
Okay, maybe the next one. No traps.
Okay, I think we know that these are all weapons. We don't have to check them all.
Oh. But don't you want to know what kind?
One slightly smaller package that is aside from the rest.
Oceanus will happily just
Take it out.
say no traps and open each bundle, and then pick up and show the group what's in each package.
All told, there are 10 battle fists, 10 laser swords, 10 energy shield bracers, 10 repeater blasters, and 1 personal shield emitter decorated with a forked-tongued lizard emblem.
Does the history or arcana roll help me identify it? Oh, except I'm not in the room yet because I'm still fixing a blaster.
Yeah.
Are you done fixing the blaster now?
I don't know. Am I done fixing the blaster now?
You could be done fixing the blaster now.
I could be done
It's
fixing
probably taken Oceanus some time to open all of these packages and count all of these weapons.
He's taking the quick approach to clear the traps, though.
Yeah. So Fritz blithely wanders into the room and says, "Hey guys, I fixed the blast." Looks at the giant piles of weaponry.
Hey,
Sure.
we found the weapons.
Yep.
Yeah, no kidding. And
Thank
Fritz
you so
starts
much.
finding the various pieces, especially the shield, the gauntlets, and things like that. So
Thank you, Mr. Fritz.
just Fritz.
Fritz, thank you for fixing my blaster.
Sure, that's what I do. What's that one though? And Fritz is going to try to identify the crest on that, the design.
Okay, go ahead and make a history or arcana, whichever you prefer.
Let's do arcana because I have a slightly higher roll in that.
Okay.
Oh, 19 plus 4, 23.
Okay, this is in fact a rare item. It's a small jeweled amulet that resembles a tiny shield. And it does have some enchantment on it, or some sort of technology that would enhance a person's armor class.
Very cool. Does a retro tech roll? I was going to say, does it retro tech roll give me any chance of determining just how effective, how much armor class might be gained?
Sure.
No,
Okay.
only a 9.
You're not sure, but it's probably better than the more common energy shield bracers.
Sweet.
Can I make an investigation roll, perhaps?
Sure.
Just to sort of ponder about, this is a lot of weaponry. This is not like a little bit of weaponry, it's a lot of weaponry.
Yes.
So wondering, where might one get something like this, or where might one sell something like this? It just seems not cricket to have this much weaponry in your hold of a ship. So like I'll look at like maybe the wrapping, see if there are any markings on the on the canvas back, like kind of do a good look-see to see if I can figure out maybe from whence these came or to whence they might go.
Okay. Go ahead and investigate.
I rolled a 19 plus 4 is a 23.
Okay. You do notice that all of these weapons have had their serial numbers and identifying markings filed off. So it's hard to say where they came from.
Typical move for pirates to do, Lasness says.
That's not right, though. You're not supposed to file off the serial numbers. This way you can't know where they came from.
Oceanus, what's the definition of a pirate?
I don't have a computer on me, so I can't give you an official one.
Well, pirates don't really care about legalities. In fact, they enjoy them because they exploit them.
For the record, pirates are people who attack and rob spaceships
That's
in
rude.
space.
I'm just kind of wondering who they were going to sell these to.
Perhaps we can find something in the logs later.
Yeah.
And were they even intending to sell them, or were they just going to use them for something?
Now, if the alternative is that
Take
they're,
over?
yeah, if they're trying to, so they, I mean, just counting out the number of weapons, this would equip how many people?
Hey,
10?
Yeah, I'm just like,
No, way more than that, right?
if they're building it, if
Yeah.
they're-
if
everyone had-
everybody got one each,
it's kind of, I mean, if the alternatives here would be kind of scary to contemplate if they're trying to, build their own army or something, but, or at least build up enough people that they were going to try to take some target or other.
But gun running is a long and dishonorable profession too. So
Well, yeah, that's why I was thinking they were going to sell them.
Right. And
right, it's unlikely that they had an end game for themselves besides credits. So
Yeah.
Well, I can say that what I saw, this might help. It's a clue. I have a clue. Here's my clue. I saw them bringing the guns onto the ship.
it makes sense that they are on the ship. Thank you.
but it is a clue because it means that they weren't selling them to somebody at Saltmaw. Saltmaw.
That's a different maw.
Maybe they were going to
Fitz
Saltmaw.
said.
I don't know. But yeah, it's a part of what was coming on board, obviously in an earlier shuttle run than what we brought over or
Wait.
didn't bring over.
What? Where were you when you saw them?
Well, okay, so I was like, I'm gonna find out what's happening on the ship because it's mysterious. They're coming from this mysterious planet. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna make my captain proud of me. So this was really great. I waited until there was nobody around, and then I snuck into the cargo hold. I was like, that's great. And then they came into the cargo hold with guns. And then that was maybe a bad idea for me to be in the cargo hold, but I did see what they brought in. But then they saw me because I was right there in the middle of the cargo hold.
You said
They-
you're going to make your captain proud. Did your captain actually know that you're here?
Yes, they said someone should go and find out what's happening over there with that ship that seems a little bit suspicious. And I said, I'll go. And they said, you should really go. And so I did.
Hang on. So just to be clear here, when you saw them bring in the guns, were they brought in from a shuttle, or was the ship actually docked?
The ship
At
was
the time.
docked. And that was the weird part because they docked in a part of the station that nobody really goes to. So we thought that was weird. Well, my captain did. And then my captain thought it was really weird that they came from this planet that we can't know anything about. And there was a lot of discussion about what to do about it or if we should do anything about it. But we thought it's really important we find out in case they knew something. So we went. And then, I went. Well, somebody should go. And then I volunteered because I've got this really great, I don't know if you noticed, and Oceanus leans over and there's like a little red marking on the aqua suit. This is my, I'm one of the people, like I'm the crew member. So I go and I do things. Well, I haven't done anything yet. Well, I did it now, but then it didn't work out. But it did work out because Fitz said that I succeeded in my mission. So
You succeeded in that time.
So my point is that somebody sold them guns here at Saltmaw. A lot of guns.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, exactly, because there's somebody on the station who might know more about this. It's kind of disturbing. I know that they've been trying to crack down on any smuggling rings that have been going on, but they can't be everywhere at once.
the logs might have some information about
Yeah.
where they might have been docked too. So
Yeah, we're definitely going to need to check in on those.
next room.
Oh, there's still the chest and the box.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, Lasness had been opening it, and
All
then
right.
Yeah.
And then role play.
And then
which is what it's supposed to be.
box
So which
under the bed is locked. Lastness, the sea chest once again is not locked. You can just unbuckle the things and open it up. There's more laundry in here. This is worn but clean and in good repair, and also a pair of boots.
How nice are the boots?
Worn but decent.
I'll stick with mine. Okay, that's a bust. And then somebody else went for the box under the bed, right?
Yes, the little
Yeah. Ted
Wismo
got
has-
the
yeah
Ted is pushing
Okay.
that one.
has been
Oh mighty station master, should I should I roll to search the trunk upon further thought?
It doesn't seem like there's much else in the sea chest.
Okay. All right, so then we'll go for the box next.
Oceanus says, no traps.
Oh, right. No traps. And she tries her key ring on it.
You do indeed find the key ring, or find the appropriate key, and inside this chest there is about it's a note worth about 500 credits. Well, exactly 500 credits. It's a note for 500 credits.
Cha-ching, everybody.
And then there are the two books on the table if anybody's interested in those.
I'll take a look.
The open one is Principles of Navigation, and the second one is Legal Distinctions in Letters of Marque.
I'm yawning because I'm tired, not because those titles made me tired.
I am going to pick up Legal Distinctions and Letters of Marque.
Okay.
And I'm just going to look and see if there's any... I'm going to flip through it. I'm not going to read, but I'm going to look and see if there have been any particular places that the reader might have highlighted or been looking at a lot, if that's visible.
Yeah,
This is like a
doggy.
physical... Is this a physical book, or is this like yes, that's a good question. Is it a physical book, or is it a...
books.
Okay. So I'm looking to see if there's any indication what part of it the reader might have been reading.
Nothing particular that stands out.
Okay. I'm just sort of flipping through.
But
Is it recent?
Yes. But physical books again are worth quite a few credits in this
Yeah.
day and age. So
It's interesting, because you're not going to find that kind of thing around too much. But at the same time, I'm just like looking at this, I'm like, see, they were wanting to use actually to get a physical book. They wanted this so badly. Now these are either they're obviously they're crazy into retro stuff, but at the same time they're also trying to, I think, be like almost like ideal mercenaries here. 'Cause, I say just sort of shaking the book a bit.
Perhaps the physical books are to avoid detection?
Maybe. Yeah. Also, I mean, you
So they're
know,
not pirates?
harder to erase this, I say. No, they are, but they're. It's just it looks like they probably would. I mean, finding this kind of stuff tells me that they probably would switch allegiances at the drop of a hat.
Mercenary pirates. Can't get any lower than that.
Oh, well, you can, but you don't want to run into any of them.
Mercenary pirates who are rude.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Oh, onto the door at the aft of the ship, or the fore of the ship.
Sure.
Yep.
I just follow Narita.
Okay.
Because she's so cool!
I want to point out Lastness doesn't notice any of this.
Lastness, you're able to open this door again without issue. It kind of smells like a locker room. And it's pretty obviously crew quarters.
Smells like the Patriarch's barracks for their plebes.
There is a lift that goes up from this room, and or rather a ramp that goes up to the upper deck, and to the starboard side
do we want to look through the cruise stuff, guys? Out of character.
Yes.
I'd say it's more job for Ted personally, but
Yeah. No, Ted's on the case. Yeah, so Narita will set Ted down and ask him to take a look around and bring back anything interesting. Which will include lots of shiny things probably, but we'll still look.
Fritz will do the usual secret door search, although not suspecting that there is one here.
You do not find a secret door, but Ted opens all the foot lockers underneath the bunks and throws out more dirty clothes, finds a spray can of deodorant and starts spraying Axe body spray around the room.
That doesn't help.
Ted's trying to kill us.
And also eventually comes up with an armload full of packs of playing cards and sets of dice and also trying to like hang on to like a book.
Then Narita will bend down and scoop up his findings and take a look at the book.
This one's more of like a periodical, and it's called Grog Hovels. It describes taverns and inns at various mall stations.
Grog Hovels, that's such a good name.
Yeah.
Perhaps in areas of lesser repute. These are the diners, drive-ins, and dives of the galaxy.
How dare you?
Oh no, there's a guy Plasmieri.
Is he spy Plasmieri?
He has blue frosted tips.
So, are there any pages that are marked? Anything in particular to look at? Any?
Several of them do have the pages dog-eared, but one of them is in fact on Saltmaw.
Oh.
Oh no.
And you, Narita, as you're looking, your little construct friend seems to have become fixated on one of these sets of dice, and keeps rolling it, and sort of like tapping your boot to try to get your attention.
Trying to look and read and figure it out, but looks at Ted and asks, "What is it? What about these dice? What's going on?"
Ted rolls a die again a few more times, and it always comes up 20.
Oh.
How's he doing that?
Oh, they're loaded.
With what?
Well, they're weighted, so they're always going to come up that.
Well, you shouldn't call them heavy. They're just big.
Real lucky dice.
No.
I guess you could look at it that way. Luck's kind of eliminated here. They're
cheating.
Yeah.
Ted also holds up a handful of playing cards, and you notice there were 2 aces of spades.
Huh.
That deck's wrong.
So apparently they were cheating, and probably at these various taverns.
Cheating, not right.
No, it's not. But these are pirates, so we've established they're not the greatest.
In the Star Scouts book, they called it a side hustle.
Oh. Isn't that a dance?
That's the slide hustle.
Oh. Oceanus does a couple of the dance steps of a slide hustle. Trying to remember how they go, and then like when to do the turn. It's a little off. They're a little off. They missed the turn part.
Brett is dancing the slide hustle.
On the Space Ghost.
So.
Wait. Which one's Fred?
Fred's the parrot, right?
Not Fred. Fred's Fred stayed behind. Ted is.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was
like, wait, did he come back?
We're losing track now.
You can hear Fred across the room. Fred is whistling the slide hustle.
Now I'm going to have that song stuck in my head for an entire rotation.
You're welcome. So that pretty much covers this deck.
Okay.
You said there's a ramp heading up. Is it heading up to the next deck? Or
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Shall we head up?
Sure.
Let's head up.
So I'll go first.
Okay.
But this should bring us up to the deck, yes?
Yep, the ramp goes back up to the main deck with the cargo lift and the life pods.
Right.
And then as you come out that door at the top of the ramp, there is another door to your left or to your right. And then across the deck from you at the aft of the ship, there are 4 more doors.
Those doors that you just described, we haven't checked a single one yet, right?
We have not.
Okay. Do the ones closest to us then work towards the aft, yeah?
The ones closest to you will go to the fore. Because you just came up the ramp.
Yep.
Oh,
from
dear.
the fore deck. So
Sorry.
there are 2 doors to the fore, and then 4 doors in the aft.
All right, doesn't one of these doors go to the bridge, or am I imagining
No,
that?
the ramp just past the door to the left goes up to the bridge.
Ah, that's right, because we had to go down and then go back up. Yeah.
So which way? I'm a little confused. Sorry, out of character. I'm literally confused, not just lastness.
No. Let's go through one of the doors to the fore, either the right or the left to the fore of the ship first.
Right, sounds good to me.
Okay. This is the galley.
Cool.
You can have lunch now.
Yeah.
Arya marches right over to the cupboards.
Arya?
Wow, I'm so sorry.
Lastness is having an identity crisis again.
Just a
I
bit.
have a list of people to assassinate. I just need to know.
No. The type of song, not the murderous.
Oh, fair.
So I'm looking through the cupboards for anything exciting / food that I think Oceanus may enjoy.
There is plenty of there are some like cooking supplies. There's also a food replicator.
Nice.
You notice like there are some like jugs of water that have been probably sitting there and are not the freshest. And then of course there is also a running water in the tap.
Is there a food preserving item that would be analogous to a fridge for us?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to search in there for anything fresh.
You are able to find some things. Among them is a space shark fin in the freezer. That was perhaps going to be sold somewhere as well.
Space sharks. Dangerous prey. Oceanus, do you have food allergies or inabilities to eat certain types of organic matter?
I like sea monkeys, brine, kelp, seaweed. I don't think I have any allergies.
Jar of pickles.
Are there pickles? Good. Okay, let's start here. Here's some preserved land sea cucumbers.
Ooh,
It is.
land cucumbers.
Yes.
Are they even better than space cucumbers?
You know, I think it's like how it would vary from person to person. Why don't you just give it a try? Very crispy.
I don't think sea cucumbers are vegetables, are they? Those are animals, aren't they?
Yes. But in space, who knows what a space cucumber could possibly be?
I don't know, but I'm terrified to find out.
You remember that penal colony that had a bar where all the beverages were made of fish?
Yeah.
And Oceanus is going to go through the
shrimp
process.
cocktail.
The process of being able to make it so that he can eat, which is going to involve cycling the water out from underneath, from the helmet into the rest of the suit so he can open up the open cage so he can then eat, close it, and then refill up the water. It's a bit of a process, but he's going to be doing that while the searching continues.
It's quite a process, and not one that very many non-nautilids have seen.
Didn't Rekmara also say that he was kind of hungry too? I recall that from a few weeks ago.
I think Zed was hungry.
Zed was hungry. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
right. We're
No,
supposed to find
he's
food for
hungry.
Zed.
Zed is looking rather suspiciously at you would be suspicious of Zed if you could see him inching toward the food replicator.
Do I see Zed moving toward the food
You
replicator?
can make a wisdom saving throw to find out.
Because Fritz has been interested in the food replicator. Oh, natural 20.
Yeah, you can definitely see Zed sort of creeping toward the food replicator like a cat who knows he's not supposed to be on the counter trying to lick your buttered toast.
I'm going to make sure Zed, like, I make eye contact with Zed so Zed knows I see him, and it's like, Zed, no, not the electronics, in the food replicator. And then I look around to see if there's like another little light source or something like that we could like just unscrew or borrow or
Yeah,
get rid of.
there are more of those like bottled lightning lamps set in various places.
I'll have Sparky go grab one for me since they're probably out of my reach.
Mm-hmm. So Sparky brings you a bottled lightning.
Yep. And I'll hold it out for Zed, and it's like, no on the food replicator, no.
Zed
something better.
Zed will definitely greedily grab that bottled lightning, and those of you who cannot see him just see this little bottle shaped glass light that's flickering as if it's got actual lightning trapped inside of it, sort of flicker and go out.
And I'll take back the empty.
So what is everybody else doing?
I'm going through that long and complicated process of being able to make it so that I can eat.
Yes.
And then I'm going to happily eat some cucumbers and be like, oh, how interesting, before I sort of hack myself up.
Fritz is going to see if the food replicator actually works.
Does.
Lastness is putting together stuff for food and kind of like taking stock of what is here.
Fritz, you noticed the last thing that was replicated in the food replicator was just like plain cream of wheat.
Plain cream of wheat.
Sounds really good right now.
Oceanus, what's the last thing that they fed you?
I don't know what it was. It was some strange sort of off-white, mushy thing. And
okay. Yeah.
It looked like that, but I couldn't eat it because, and then I was...
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Thank you for the land pickles.
How different what are they from? Spickles.
Spickles.
I think they're quite different. And also sea pickles, because I would have sea pickles and I've had space pickles, but I've never had land pickles, and they're quite different. Strange texture.
Wait till you find out what kingdom they are. Don't get me started on their phyla.
Oh. I'll just do a bit of an investigation around the galley to see if there's anything interesting there, as I'm having a pickle. You know, like if there are logs or data of any sort. I'm not looking for loot, I'm looking for info.
Nothing particularly valuable in the galley. There is a drawer that does hold an assortment of butcher knives and cleavers, and you notice there is like the table actually does have a wood butcher block top that has been scored with knife marks.
No information, but look at this. They probably killed the pickles first. Because they're knife marks here, like stabbing. Are land cucumbers alive? They're alive, right? Do they move on their own? What do they? I didn't see any feet on them, but they were preserved. I don't know how you prepare preserved land cucumbers.
We can go over that later.
Yes, so as Oceanus begins to speculate on the sentience or non-sentience of land cucumbers, that's where we're gonna wrap up our episode.
Whenever possible, end on a cucumber.
It's quite the pickle.
Well, not yet. That's kind of the point. Awesome. Oh, very cool. Very cool. I guess that's back over to me then. Thanks all so very much. This was a lot of fun. We're going to go ahead and go around and do our outros, as is our wont. And feel free to say where folks can find you and any thoughts you have about the session today. I'm actually going to start with our guest, Trooper. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, I'm not muted. I mute just in case, but I wasn't muted. I was going to unmute, but I didn't need to. If I had unmuted, I would have remuted, and that would have been bad. Hey everyone, I'm TrooperSJP. It has been so lovely being here, and I'm so excited for my red shirt, Nautilid, to meet the new friends who who are happy to have me around and don't send me off on missions where I might get kidnapped by pirates. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure no one did it on purpose. A little red suit. It has been lovely being here. I adore Origami Shuriken, and so it's wonderful to have been here with her and to meet everybody else new here. So that's exciting for me. Thank you. You can find me on my channel, TrooperSJP. I'm currently running a French resistance campaign on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern on my channel, A Good Historical Using Fate. And you can also find me on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on Tales from the Grim, where I'm in a Witcher campaign, where I'm a bard, except I'm not a bard. That was a lie. I'm only disguising myself as a bard, but I'm not. That's it. That's me.
Well, yeah, but you play an actual instrument in that game, so that is freaking awesome.
I do. I went and I got a lyre just for this game. I was like, I'm going to have to teach myself how to play a lyre. That's fine. I'll do it. I got one for like $20, which does not hold a tune very long. That's fine. And I was like, well, I'll work it out.
So good, so good. Everyone, please follow. Trooper. That's excellent. So glad to have you with us. This was wonderful. And I adore Oceanus.
Oceanus, like, experienced adventurers. Wow. Like, what, second, third level, maybe? Very impressive.
So precious. That's awesome. And we're going to now go over to our station master, Alyssa.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alyssa. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Origami Shuriken. If you check out my YouTube, you can find our theme song. And come see me here, same time, same channel, for the next episode of Ghosts of Saltmaw. I was very excited for this episode. I was really looking forward to playing with Trooper again, so thank you for joining us. I told you you'd fit right in.
Brilliant, awesome. And we are going to head up ways to Mem.
Hi there, I'm Mem. You can find me mostly here on Sundays. My internet presence has been very limited lately. For today's session, Oceanus by far was the best part. What a beautiful little confused, precious gem. So much fun. So I had a great time. Can't wait to come back and see what we get into next week.
Absolutamente. May, how's it going?
Hi, everybody. I'm May. You can follow me on Twitter at Madeline, and I don't really have a Twitch, and my Twitter is that exciting, but that's where you can find me. I had a great time today, and it's great meeting Oceanus / Trooper. I'm so glad he's here.
Awesome. And Cazimi.
Hi, I'm Cazimi of the multiple technical problems this evening, obviously. And you can find me here. I really don't have much of an internet presence, and I am very socially distanced, as it seems. So I'll be back here next Sunday, barring other shutdowns of other things between now and then, what the world may look like. But I'm very much enjoying where this story is going. I love running into random people, and it's even better when they're random people who have the energy and enthusiasm that Oceanus has here. He's very lucky he hasn't ended up with an Ed nickname, even though Pred is his given Sir family name. We'll work that in some more. But great to see you. So glad you could join us.
It was awesome, very awesome. And finally, up to Anino.
Hey everyone, my name is Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. You can find my schedule as well as my favorite highlights from RP streams over the past year over on my webpage, which is aninogaming.com. I had a great time tonight. I was really happy to find this episode because I feel like we finally got some really good RP and character development going on here. And I think all of that was basically triggered by Oceanus. So, it's a great contribution to this stream. As far as what is up next with me, got a Wednesday stream on the Welcome Party RPG channel. That is at 8 p.m. It's run by Atomic Firebird. So, looking forward to playing that again. There's no excuse because I just built them a PC. So, and then Friday, I will be on the Wandering DM channel for another exciting episode of Cyberpunk Red, where I play Jimenez, a professional wrestler. So, and then back again on this channel for Saturday and Sunday for Invisible Sun and Ghosts of Saltmaw. So, forward to keeping this train rolling by myself. Quarantine.
Yes.
What about you, Cole?
What about me?
Who are
What
you?
about me? Yes, as once again, and also once again, as I keep throwing this freaking dice tower all over my desk. I just want to make sure I remember to thank Jade Nebula, who provided our art. But as for me, once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, some things I've written, along with links to game signups and applications to join our Discord. What's coming up? So here on this channel on Tuesday, we are continuing our short campaign of Alas Vegas by James Wallace, the Baron Munchausen guy. It is nuts so far. Basically, it's the marriage of Quentin Tarantino with David Lynch. A very strange tarot-inspired Vegas-scape. So come watch that Tuesday afternoon. On Wednesday nights, we have our regular Masks campaign, GM'd by Mole Thulu. We're at a point where we're going to be, we just finished a segment, and we're starting the next segment. And so it's a good point to jump on. On Saturday nights, as previously mentioned, we have our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox, where things just keep spiraling in that one, and it is glorious as more things are uncovered. On Sundays, we do one-shots in the afternoons. The one-shot 1 week from today will be the Savage Worlds version of Space 1889. I'm going to take a stab at running that, if I can cram it into my head in time. And that's Red Sands, and so that's coming up. And then, of course, that evening, 1 week from today, more of this. More Dark Matter, Ghosts of Saltmaw. And very excited to finish out looking this ship over and finding out more about what's been going on, what these criminals are up to, because if there is one thing that Cole cannot abide, it's criminals coming in on his territory. So that's a thing that's going to have to be looked at. Yeah, exactly. Guns blazing. Sign-ups are open right now for the Space 1889 one-shot and for the short campaign of The Sprawl that's going to be starting in mid-April. It's Cyberpunk, powered by the Apocalypse. That's going to be run by guest MC Brian. Very soon I'm also going to be opening up sign-ups for next month's short campaign that I'll be running, which will be Monster of the Week. So for anyone wanting to look for signups, just go down below to click on RPG signup, or go to jimyesthatjim.com and click on game signup. As always, beginners are welcome. So when we hit the end card, I am going to, let's raid Simon. I'm going to go ahead and send a raid over to Wandering GM. He's doing a thing right now. Looks like D&D Fell Deeds in Fellfair Grove, it is called.
Let me talk about this, because I actually play tested this on during PAX East. It's his very own self-adventure that he wrote. It's 3 parts, and it's now available. The first volume is now available. But I believe he published that over on DM's Guild. No, I'm sorry, it was Drive Through RPG. So yeah, it's 50 pages. So there's a lot of content there that takes you from levels 2 to level 4. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. I can't tell you about what happened in it, but because it was very inappropriate, but appropriate for PAX East. So you can take that for what you will.
Interesting. Well, very cool. Let's go over and check it out. And you may feel free to hang on and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you next week. Farewell.